Hey everybody, welcome.
Good morning, afternoon, whenever it is.
It is the day.
It is the day.
Welcome to Painting Happy Little Minis. I am Rick.
I'm Jeff.
And today we are painting some Gale Force 9 Dungeons & Dragons miniatures that are kind of specific.
Yeah, they're mostly from their various adventure modules and source books and things.
Yeah.
I know this guy's from the Tomb of Annihilation that I'm going to be painting. Nasi.
I don't even know, but he looks like a freaking BA.
He's a Yan T, the big NPC that you battle in the module.
I'm literally playing Tomb of Annihilation and I haven't got there yet, so thanks.
Oh, well, sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. I don't know if we'll ever get there. And I'm painting from the collector series Archon the Cruel, which is a Dragonborn Paladin.
Paladin,
played by Joe Manganiello. This is his personal character, so they did a sculpt for it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
On the
So
back.
hi, Joe. Hope you're watching.
Yeah, please. Are you watching? He was supposed to be here today, but schedules didn't.
Movies and things.
It says after a climactic battle with Vecna in the penultimate episode of Critical Role Series 8, Archon the Cruel raised his magical battle axe, Fane Eater, above his head and whispered a prayer to Tiamat, bringing the axe down. He stunned the members of Vox Machina by chopping his own arm off at the wrist instead of destroying the hand of the newly lifeless Lich Vecna. Then, in the blink of an eye, attached a magical hand and used it to teleport himself to a location unknown.
That's how you end a campaign.
Yeah.
On a high note. Hey, check me out. I got the hand of Vecna. I'm out.
So that's what we're painting today. Just like to say hi to everybody. Jeff, as you all know, because he's been here quite a few times now, works at a store called Games and Stuff.
Games and Stuff here in Baltimore area, Glen Burnie to be specific. So if you're in the area, please come down and visit us. We carry the full line of the D&D collector's minis that we're painting today and all of your hobby supply needs. So come and check us out.
Mini Paints was Wizard Pants. I don't know.
Wizard Pants.
Good afternoon, everyone, from Sarah. Gretchen Settle. I'd never heard of her. No, Gretchen, as you all know, paints with us. She says hello. Carl says hi. Joshua says, hailing from locations unknown. Yes.
Maybe he's same place that Archon the Cruel is.
Yes, on the first level of hell. Because in the new Baldur's Gate adventure setting coming out, what is it?
The Avernus. Yeah, Descent into Avernus.
Descent into Avernus. Apparently, Archon has a castle, or a fortress, on that plane of hell.
Wow.
So
he's done well for himself.
Yeah. And then Matthew Bowles and Dave over on YouTube. Hello. So Clive. All right. So let's see if we can get done with these guys here.
Diving in with some of the new contrast paints from Citadel.
Yep.
Great for these scales and things. I find they work really well on organics.
Oh, okay. Instead of like weapons and flat surface machines.
Hair, fur, scales, things of that nature. Cloth, they look really, really good.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about that. Dave and I, who is on vacation, by the way, everybody, he is...
He's exploring the national parks of the Midwest and north part of the country.
Yeah. We talked about how if something is highly textured, these work very well in doing the things that they're marketed to do. Getting in there and doing all the fun stuff.
I always go backwards on the camera. You can see right there along the scale pattern how the orange settles in really nicely. Great for snake skin.
And I'm using the contrast Flesh Terrors Red for this, the red dragon bits on this Dragonborn. Just kind of sweet.
The only hard part is you have to, redo areas if you want to go back over them.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of getting used to that. You can't just paint right over top with another color so much. So for him, if you're trying to do multiple tones to his belly and things, you have to kind of pay attention to where the scales are going to be, and then kind of map that out, and then touch it up a little bit with some primer.
And you just kind of like went over it with a little bit more white paint after the priming, right?
Correct. The contrast really does not work over a dark surface so much. You really need to make sure you have a good light color on there.
Okay.
So it's very important to have a good light white, gray, bone color of some sort, before you lay down the contrast paints.
Okay.
Because that's the whole point of the contrast name. It's not just a catchy name. You're looking for that contrast. It'll settle down in the recesses, and the lighter, as it dries, it'll darken in the cracks, and the light, flatter areas will stay a little lighter.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I've been definitely enjoying using these, trying out new styles of painting, new attempts to get things done fast, but still look really good.
Yeah. Well, you said that you've been doing some work on some armies?
Sure. Always hoping to, paint some new forces for various games. Song, Ice, and Fire from Simon's really taking off at the shop, so we're trying to get some armies done for that.
Okay.
Personal things, playing some skirmish games and things, the new Saga Age of Magic and some other fun games.
Okay.
Always get some more stuff done.
Get them on the table and let people be like, "Word, this is fun."
And then also, obviously, always painting crazy monsters and characters for D&D and other things like that. So.
Well, we've talked about, we got to kick off our D&D thing.
Yep.
So I know after this we'll probably talk a little bit more about it. But I'm really excited for that. I know that the other players are too.
Yes, it should be very exciting. Looking forward to getting that moving once life had settled down a little bit.
Right. James says hi. Hey, James. Let's see. Painting the Joe. Again, yes, he tried to spell the name.
So you can see there's how the scales are looking.
Dave says hello. Dave Trump. Andrew Chesney says, can confirm the contrast paints are very, very good, but do follow the tips as they work differently to most glazes and washes. Yes. Always use Army Painter primer sprays. All right. Jesus, Mini Paints who says he finished up over 100 minis this past weekend.
Wow.
I know, right? That's crazy talk. What were you painting, Josh?
I could have done that too, but sleeping was involved, and napping and other fun, lazy things like that.
All right. So I'm going to put some gunmetal gray on the plate mail armor and the metal bits on this guy.
Nope, still not dry enough. Got to make sure your primers and things are definitely dry as well because the contrasts are very thin, ink-like surface that they'll, run a bit if not.
Okay.
So I'll work on other areas in the meantime.
I probably should have put together more miniatures because that's one of the things I will tend to do is one thing's drying, pick up another one.
Sure.
I was having none of that today. So currently at your store, what are some things that you all are doing to build community. Do you have anything coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a long-running event that happens around twice a year called Charm City Game Day, happening this coming Saturday. And that is a RPG-focused event run by a group independent of the store, but we've hosted it for them for many, many years now. So you can go to charmcitygameday.com, find all the sign-up info. And it's a great day to come out. It's like a mini convention. There's a couple different time slots, morning and afternoon. You can come out and try various RPGs. Everything from D&D and Pathfinder to more obscure games. So something, if you're an RPG fan, definitely consider checking that out this weekend. We also have Pop-Up Gen Con coming the first weekend of August. So for those of you not going to Gen Con, we're the only store in this area that will be hosting that, where you can try out some of the new games that are going to be on display and demoed at Gen Con. We'll have those in store. We don't know if there'll be product for sale yet. That's still kind of unknown at this time, but they'll definitely be in store to try out and play various sponsored games from Renegade, AEG, a bunch of other companies.
I think Steve Jackson.
Yeah, there's quite a number of people. This is the first year that this event has taken place, so we're all very anxious to see how it goes. We've always run a similar event ourselves called, if you can't go to Gen Con Day every year for those folks in the area, but now it's an official event. I believe there's 40-ish stores around the country.
Wow.
And we're one of them. I will personally be at Gen Con, so I will not be there for that, but lots of other folks will be on hand to make sure it's a great event.
Cool.
And I'm looking forward very much to going to Gen Con.
Yes, it's going to be a blast. But like Jeff said, that there are multiple stores all over the United States, and I think even beyond, that are participating in Pop-Up Gen Con. So check with your local game store to see if they are participating.
Absolutely.
And make sure you...
go to gencon.com for the full list, and you have to buy a ticket through Gen Con's website. It's just a $5 entry, but make sure you check that out, and you get an exclusive badge and lanyard and first access to the various games that'll be on demo that day.
Yeah.
But then we're always just trying to build new communities. We have some sub Facebook groups and things, RPGs, board games, and things that, all at games and stuff that helps promote that. We have a new Song and Ice and Fire miniature game group.
All right.
We do a lot with miniatures at the shop. So 40K, Age of Sigmar, various Fantasy Flight, X-Wing, Legion, stuff like that.
Right. All the good stuff.
Right. We're also hosting a new event in July for a pandemic national, regional qualifier.
What?
So if you're a pandemic fan, be sure to look into that. You can win a seat it's a team tournament. It's a two-person team event.
Okay.
And the team that wins gets an invite to the finals at Gen Con. You have to get yourself to Gen Con, obviously, but you have a seat at the table.
Wow.
Which is kind of cool, something they haven't done before.
No, that is pretty cool. I wouldn't actually expect that to be a game that would have such a thing, because it is a cooperative event,
and for playing in it, you get a new scenario deck and some other cool stuff that you can't get anywhere else. So if you're a pandemic fan, keep that in mind. Check our website. Tickets should be up tomorrow for sale that you can register. We can hold up to 32 teams or something. So yeah, lots of space for folks to come and get involved.
All right. I can dig that. I actually really enjoy that game.
Pandemic's one of those weird games that I've actually never played.
What?
It's a classic, but somehow I've never managed to play a game of it, which I need to remedy.
Yeah, play that, and then because I want to do the Pandemic Legacies.
Right.
So play Pandemic, then go into Legacy Season 1, Legacy Season 2, and then they have that new one coming out where it's where you're an airdrop.
Oh, the rapid response
Yeah,
thing?
rapid response one. Yeah, which looks fun too.
So I bought Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu just because I love the concept of pandemic and you're trying to stop Cthulhu from rising. But
You still haven't played it.
Still haven't played it. Well, how many of us buy those wonderful board games and put them right on the shelf?
That's a great question. How many board games do you, viewer, have on your shelves that you have not yet played?
I would say lots.
Yeah.
Not as many as the miniatures I have that I have yet to assemble or paint, but
Some of the things going on, people are talking about like the contrast paints, how some of the darker ones don't highlight very well.
Again, trial and error with the different tones. I found the Wraithbone primer, works differently than the Gray Seer or the Corex White, so it's always, finding what works best for you.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing is it's still relatively early in the process of utilizing these new paints as a part of your toolkit to really know what everything can do yet. And it's been quite fun exploring to see where everybody's going with them and the new techniques and knowledge that's being dropped in the group. So if you're watching this and you haven't joined our Facebook group yet, we do have a Facebook group called Painting Happy Little Minis, where you can go over there and drop knowledge, gain knowledge, share all your works in progress, have fun painting. Hey Peter, Peter's watching. Blair says, hey guys, looking good. Have you thought about painting any bard models? That's a great question.
I just got a really cool new Bard miniature the other day from Dark Sword Miniatures, and I need to paint him up. I don't have a Bard in my current game or anything, though. That's the...
I think every game deserves a bard.
Sure.
Yeah. So Blair, that's a great question. For everybody that doesn't know, Blair works for Gale Force 9, and which is the miniatures we're painting right now. And does Gale Force 9 make any bard miniatures, Blair? If it does, let us know. If it doesn't, could we maybe coerce you all into making a character box of like 5 bards?
5 bards?
Yeah.
Like a band?
A band. A full-on band of bards. Each of them having a different instrument, I think it would be wicked cool. And I know lots of people that would like to play them. Like our good friend Oz, who's the owner of Alpha Omega Hobbies up in Boston. He's a huge fan of bards. And I think Paul is too.
Everyone, I mean, I see the appeal of a bard, certainly.
I'm not upset with the black, or this dark contrast, the black Templar contrast paint on the black cloak. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not bad. I kind of feel like I'm going to have to put this character. I'd like to get the complete stat block for Arkan so that I can use him as a villain. I just feel like he would really be a great antagonist.
Oh, sure.
All right. There we go. There might be a bard model coming with Avernus. Yes.
Nice.
Sarah says, gotta have a bard with bagpipes. Of course.
I like a traditional lute.
A lute.
A lute.
Everybody plays a lute. Nobody plays the didgeridoo. I want a didgeridoo. I want some. I just want rain sticks.
Your guy's just running around.
And the what's the tambourine of charming or distraction?
Right.
Where you
Look over here.
go,
Look over here.
and everybody's like, what is that? What is that? I got you. And then they, get them. I love the tambourine of distraction. All right. I'm going to try this warp lightning on this, on the hand of Vecna. It shows Arkan having this,
Ghostly green.
fire.
Yes, that warp lightning's a great color for that.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a vibrant color. It's just...
So good. The Hand of Vecna. I'm wondering if he's also looking to find the Eye of Vecna. Because was it just those two pieces, or was there more? You remember?
The hand and eye were the main, were the pieces. There was also the Sword of Cass, Vecna's lieutenant, who turned against him. Vecna was a antagonist in a long-running campaign of mine years ago.
Back when Greyhawk was the dominating force?
No, not so much. I transplanted the cult and the Vecna stuff to Forgotten Realms at the time, but I just love the whole concept of Vecna as a villain.
Oh, he's, yeah, definitely a good villain. Oh, Vecna.
Yeah, you can't really, this stuff just is great for these parts of the body, you know, to do the nice two-tone, a nice paler skin there.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has some wraps and things on his body that I'm going to try the black color with, or the gray.
Okay.
What do we go with? Let's try the Black Templar. I'll make sure to close it before I shake it, because I don't want to make
Barb
sure
with
Rick
Tackle.
is wearing all of this.
I've been looking into Symborium or Numenera for a campaign to run when I move to Texas. Oh, Numenera, I like that one. That's a fun game.
Simbaroom has been very popular at the store. One of our assistant managers has been running a game with that for a while now, and has nothing but great things to say about it.
Okay.
It's a Swedish game, I believe, that's been translated and brought over.
Okay. What's the concept or the plot or the theme?
It's very much like dark. How do I describe it? Dark. Not fairy tale-ish, but you know, the dark woods and you know, the continent's very unexplored and Dark Ages kind of style, Germanic, you know, folklore and things.
Interesting. I have not heard of it at all as of yet. I mean, now that I know, I'm gonna have to delve into it and see what it's about. Whereas Numenera, I have had some experience playing that and a lot of the other Cypher System games from Gods of the Fall and The Strange. And
I really love the setting of Gods of the Fall.
me too. I like the whole idea that the gods have been destroyed, but their spark, their energy, it still exists, and it's kind of sprouting or forming in the players. So you could become a god in the game as it progresses, and then there's the whole like organization that hunts them down.
Right.
It's like, yeah. Because mine was like, I could have, when I played it with at Gen Con for a charity event, I played so I could have been either the god of stories or the god of lies, because you're basically running down the line of potentially going in two different directions whenever you play the game. Like the god of war could also be the god of justice or whatever. And I liked it. And I'm trying to think. And then, of course, the other game in that same kind of system is the Invisible Sun, which is another one I actually enjoy.
Such a amazing product in and of itself. The giant black cube and all the crazy cool things.
The hand.
The hand.
Yeah.
I've used quite a bit of the little proppy bits for other odds and ends, and the necklaces, the talismans, you know. Yeah, really, really high production values there.
James says, I got about 5 minutes left. Oh no! Blair says Gale Force will be doing models for the Waffle Crew, one of which is Paulton Seppa, a bard. What is that from? Is that another podcast or the Waffle Crew? What's that?
I don't recognize that.
Yeah, me neither.
Unless that's maybe adventuring company in the new book or something.
Hey, Richard is asking what we're painting. We're painting some Gale Force 9 miniatures. I'm painting Archon the Cruel.
I am painting Razdan C, Yon T villain. What's it say about him? He is Raz is the noble title akin to a duke, and he was once a Cheltan paladin, chosen of Ubatu, protector of the city of Mesro. He betrayed his oath and was banished, becoming a vengeful warlord. Now he has an undead army that is trying to seek redemption after his army was destroyed. Well, rather than seek redemption, I'm sorry, he sought revenge and was stripped of his God-given powers. The undead horde, no longer in his control, has spread throughout the jungles of Chult.
Uh-oh.
So there's just...
All sorts of spoilers.
They have run amok.
Very nice. And also we're going to give away a Gale Force 9 model today. As many of their models are limited edition, limited to usually about 1,500, much like the Storm Giant Royal Guard. And what should we have everybody do to enter? What kind of hashtag?
About hashtag, since it's a giant, Fee-Fi-Fo-Fum.
Wow, Fee-Fi-Fo-Fum. Okay. Hashtag Fee-Fi-Fo-Fum will get you entered in to win the Storm Giant Royal Guard, limited to 1,500 pieces, and you're going to get one of them, which is really nice.
It is a fantastically cool model. As we were talking earlier, like these yellows are so exciting in the contrast line. This Nazdrag yellow to do his little necklace piece. It just looks so good.
That is really good. I love just the fact that it takes a few steps out, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
I've always found yellow to be one of the more difficult colors to paint. And it not look like Dick Tracy cartoonish. Not that I don't like Dick Tracy. I do. Right. Man. This guy is a beast. Looking at the base here, I'm wondering like what else is on the ground around him. He's got his shield and his severed arm or severed hand laying there. It's like, ew, gross. Uh-oh, Clive already put down Fee-Fi-Fo-Fum. Fee-Fi-Fo-Fum. I smell a giant that needs to be painted. Facts. Like we have any idea how to spell that. He is therefore Free-Fi-Fo-to-Fum home. All right, James, be well. Hey, Josh. As everyone Googles how to spell Fee-Fi-Fo-Fum. Nice.
It's a bunch of two-letter words. Fee, F-I. Or fee, F-E, F-I, fi, fo, F-O, fum, F-U-M. So a bunch of two letters and one three-letter.
I see that Pete Shirley is over there on YouTube watching.
Hi, Pete.
Good guy over there. Y'all could have seen him painting with us at Origins. He came and painted some, man, I'm having a brain fart. can't remember what the actual miniatures were that we painted.
You're painting some Simon related things since.
Yeah, they were part of the wildling forces.
Excellent. Looking forward to seeing Pete at
the
Gen Con.
bones.
Okay.
The followers of the Lord of Bones.
Lord of Bones, yep.
Yeah. They're so.
Yeah, let's check out some models.
All right, Steve Mellon, Terra blocks from Sally Forth. Okay.
Some terrain, very nice.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with the terrain that some of these folks are putting in the group. It's like just ridiculously good. Jordan Bazinski with various minis here. I can't really see what the one on the left is.
Some sort of possibly tiefling sorcerer or something. Looks like a little tail action going on. And an air elemental.
All right.
Very cool.
Nice. Josh with some more minis. Josh Mushil. So that's the Forge, I want to say from WizKids.
It is. It is part of the townspeople set, and that Forge lights up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool little LED element.
And then they got a Yuntai on there as well.
Yeah. I think that's one of the WizKids, Yonti Malisan.
Nice. Josh with Dwarven Armored Bear Cavalry by Ral Partha. Good God. I want those. Not those. I'd like to paint those as well, but to see that force coming down off a mountainside, to crush into a goblin and orc army. Yup. I can dig it. Michael Bruce with Warhammer terrain.
Oh, a City Imperialis there. Very nice. Sector Imperialis.
These are really nice, and he's been doing a great job, but he's been really stressing about it. He's like,
I painted a set for the shop. They are time consuming, and I can see where the stress can come in.
Okay. Good job. Jan Rogers, War Machine Cyrix Bone Jacks, is that right?
Some Crix Bone Jacks there.
Crix.
Yep.
Okay, Crix. Those look good. I love the greens on those. Brian Nance with, can't see that so well.
It looks like Infinity. It looks like maybe an Infinity model. Kind of looks like a Morat from the Combined Army.
Okay.
Possibly.
Brian, if you're watching, could you let us know what that is? It looks great. I don't know what the model is. Jason Cambria with a Stormcast Decimators. Nice.
Very cool.
I'm wondering if they use any of the contrast on those, because they look good. I mean, they would look good regardless.
Right.
I'm saying. Sean with some Reaper minis.
Yeah, looks to be some goblins. Yep.
I love goblins. They're so fun. Michael Harris with Bones 4 Dragon Turtle.
Steal some of this green.
The Bones 4 Dragon Turtle looks so good.
Yeah.
And I'm like kicking myself in the butt because I didn't get it. But I will say this. He took it outside and put it like in the grass on the left, and then it looks like, I don't know, is that like a pier in the background? I don't know, to make it look like it's near water.
I got practically every large thing in that Bones 4,
So good.
and I did not get the Dragon Turtle either. Now I regret it.
It's so good. Junebug minis with a Invisible Warrior.
Oh, cool. Taking one of the invisible models and painting over it so you can kind of leave part of it translucent. Very cool.
I do like that. I have a bunch of those invisible models at home. And seeing this makes me think, maybe I'll give it a shot. It won't look that good, but...
Could even be a special show. Painting invisible
Invisible
or ghosties, translucents.
Jeff Lee with a Platinum Dragon.
That giant model from the Bones is really impressive as well.
Holy crap! Look at the wing effect he did. With
That model's so big. You can see kind of to the right there. There's like an individual figure down in the corner. That model is just massive.
Massive.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the point that I'm seriously considering making it a statue because it's so big.
Okay, that makes sense. Good job, Jeff.
Very nice.
Garrett with a Reaver's Jet Bikes.
Yep, Dark Eldar. Drukari now, as they're known.
Okay. Those look so good. I would almost like to see those in something like a does a sci-fi like show. Current work from Blood Rage. Okay.
Yeah, painting
Good
the,
job,
the
Mark.
board game models. Very nice.
Oh, Peter. Peter, we just talked about him.
Yes, Rumble Slam.
So I am not familiar with Rumble Slam, but the miniatures look amazing.
Another fantasy football style game, or was it? No, Rumble Slam was wrestling. Fantasy wrestling, yeah.
Okay.
Fantasy sports game.
So good job, Pete. Robert with a Pandora from Mythic Battles Pantheon. Jeez, is that Pandora like opening Pandora's box and letting everything out? That's beautiful. I love it. That's the dress was just amazing. Simon with the Black Legion grows.
Some
Black
new
Legion.
models for his Chaos Army. Very
That's
cool.
awesome. You know, to see some of these on the table would just, I don't know if I'd be able to play. I'd just be like, spend the whole afternoon just looking at the models. Fire Elemental printed and painted by Mike Chapman. Nice. I can dig it. I would destroy it with my Frost brand. Just saying. And Teal Rochelle with, it looks like a dwarf or a halfling warrior
Yeah.
with bloody axe and ready to go kill that fire elemental that was just previous. I can dig it. I like that turquoise blue on the cloak there. Good job. Michael Bull. Is that a
Noel Archer, yeah.
One of my favorite villains or bad guys. I love Knowles. And that looks like it could be like an older one with a gray fur.
Right.
Been around, seen some stuff. I like it. Dave with a Marrow from Reaper.
Yes, underwater ogre.
Oh, that's good.
The nice big hook.
It is really good. I wouldn't want to get hit by that hook or get snagged by it and drug into like a close melee combat situation. But I'd like to see it do it to some players. So cool, Dave. Stephen Weiss with a
Imperial Knight.
Jesus. How big is one of those?
About that big-ish, yeah, about that big.
All right. I like it. That coloring is beautiful. That brass copper look. It's nice. Good job, Stephen. Jason with Ezra Miller Flash. Okay, so he used the contrast Blood Angel Red for that, and he's in the comments and in the chat was just like hit the perfect effect that he wanted for that for that character. So if you guys are painting any of those, what is that, dark
night models, those are the night models Batman line.
Yeah, there's a model specifically made for the Blood Angel Red. It's so good. All right, Teddy Zartler with a Reaper Diva, which is
angelic being.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And those wings look amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And they can be fickle little creatures themselves when dealing with them, but with a paint job like that, I'd spend the time.
Absolutely.
It's so good. Cool. All right, everybody. For everybody that is not a part of the group and would like to get your miniatures shown, your works in progress or completed miniatures shown on our show, make sure you go over to Painting Happy Little Minis Facebook group and start posting up your works in progress and your completed minis. And again, be a part of the community, ask lots of questions, get lots of answers, and even help build other people's toolbox so they become better painters.
Absolutely. Can I steal some of that bone color?
Absolutely. That is looking ridiculous, by the way.
This is part of the fun that contrast allows. You can get stuff done really quickly, and it still looks pretty nice.
It's really good.
And then it's up to you to decide just how much you want to go in and highlight or do whatever else with it.
Makes me feel like I need to speed up a little bit over here to catch up with you. And Dave says, yay, made the show. Richard says, awesome. I have a Arkan model I haven't painted yet. Currently painting some blights. nice. I love Blights too. Man, there's so many good minis out there.
So many minis, not enough time.
Right? I've actually considered, with all the miniatures I have that need to get painted, just inviting all my friends over that want to just hang out, order some pizza, and just
And then put them to work.
and have a paint party. Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, you can't take them. You got to paint them and leave them. And yes, you're probably going to face them if you're in a game with me. I don't know if anybody would be down for that.
Welcome to Rick's Sweatshop.
That's right. But there's so many. My kids, my two youngest are coming to stay with me over the 4th of July weekend, a week there. I have a feeling they're going to be painting some minis, whether they like it or not. My daughter probably won't be so happy about it. My son will be like, sweet. Because he's like all about the hobby now. He's
That's exciting.
Yeah. So. All right. Jared wants to know when the Aliens game is coming out. That's a good question. Gale Force 9 does have an Aliens game coming out, which is going to have some great miniatures of some xenomorphs. So, if Blair is still listening or watching, if you can answer that question, that'd be awesome. Because I know I want to paint those. And I'm hoping that they're going to come out with like some Dune minis too, with the Dune game coming out. Because I think that would be a fun one to.
Oh yeah, who wouldn't want to paint some Sardaukar or some Fremen?
Yes. All right. We got about 15 minutes. So if you have not yet done so, please use the hashtag FeeFiFoFum to enter to be potentially the winner of this cool Storm Giant Royal Guard by Gale Force 9. We would love to send it to one of our viewers today. And we will. And much like Jeff said earlier on in the program, Pop-Up Gen Con is something that you all are probably going to want to definitely get involved in if you're not going to actively be at Gen Con, and find out if your local store is participating.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a very interesting, first year event. So I highly recommend everybody checking it out. Get in on that ground level.
Right. Man, this is a slick little model. All right.
There we go. How's that looking?
Yeah, it looks really good. Dang it.
Got some highlights on it.
It looks really good.
So here's something interesting I'm going to try.
Uh-oh.
I haven't yet tried to take a little bit of contrast and just straight up mixing it in with like a white paint.
Okay.
To see what,
What kind of effect you come up with?
And then I'm going to lightly hit the scales very light. Oh, that's even too much still.
Mm-hmm. I need to figure out, I haven't put anything on the Hand of Vecna as far as like a tone or a look. So I'm wondering what kind of color that would be. It looks like it's got its own green look too, because it is a grody undead hand.
Sure.
Who does that? Who takes a skeletal undead hand and puts it on their own arm? Ridiculous. How's it looking?
I like it.
All right.
And then you can always use the contrast medium and the colors to make a thin down, like a glaze, if you'd like. Which I might go back over here with a little bit of that. Like 3 parts medium to just 1 part of the orange.
All right.
And then just going back over that. So if it was the white and orange came out a little bright at times, kind of knock that down. But just glazing it so you keep the highlight showing through.
I was kind of. We got one. Yeah, Byron says, cool paint job with the Yuntai. Michael says, thanks for showing us the experiment, brother. Save us the paint in time. I was curious how other paints reacted to the contrast paints.
See that black right over there? I'm just going to paint the edge of the base.
This one right here?
Yeah, just some straight up Abaddon black.
That's air black, so it's
yeah,
going
it
to be
just
real
means
thin.
nice and thin.
Yeah. All right. It's going to look pretty good. I think these end of the episode photos are going to look good on these miniatures. There we go. So, what has everybody got planned for this week as far as like projects that they're working on, painting it back home? Are you doing like?
I'm finishing up some terrain for some games, and also some of the new Age of Sigmar like ruin, like the daises and things.
Okay.
I did some of those stuff to finish up, and hopefully getting back then to my Song of Ice and Fire models I keep hemming and hawing about.
Nice.
Throw that right on the spinner. Yeah, very happy with the way he came
looks
out.
amazing.
Again, what we at 40 some minutes of work with some contrast paints and some quick highlights.
Yep.
And bam, you have a new model ready for your table, ready to go.
And we'll put him right next to him.
They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight.
Yeah, not bad. Got them done in under an hour.
Sure.
I think they look pretty good. I have a feeling that, no offense to your miniature, because he is pretty awesome looking, I think Arkan would take him though.
It does have the Hand of Vecna, one of the most powerful artifacts in Dungeons and Dragons history. So I think I'm gonna give him the benefit as well.
Dave says, "Wow, Jeff, yeah, it looks so good." Pete says, "Looking good." Hey, Jeff. George spoke very highly of you painting skills. Said I should ask you for tips since I wouldn't pester you like he does.
Yes, you can always ask for tips. Feel free to message me. We'll be doing some painting classes at Games and Stuff in July. Look for our calendar there. We're going to focus on some D&D minis for one, and some contrast paints, as well as one on army painting. So you can see lots of different techniques. So
Nice.
Definitely keep an eye out for that.
Michael says those are crazy awesome and fast. Yeah, they again, the contrast paints were used, and they did help jump a couple steps.
Yeah, absolutely. This is I've done a bunch of models with it in the shop as demos, and you know, this would be the first one I feel that I could say I painted to be like something I'm going to put on the table. You know, it's not just kind of like you guys did, trying different colors over,
Right,
or like the Stormcast and things like.
when we're
I just want to
looking
see
at-
what this green looks like, or I want to see what this bone looks like.
Yeah.
You know, these are some of the first ones I've been like, all right, let's bang out a model we're going to play with.
Yeah.
So.
And I have a feeling we will play with that one. Yeah. So you will, because you're going to take that with you and put it in an
Absolutely.
adventure to kill some people with.
Yep. The only thing I plan on doing with it is finishing up the base a little more, just because I didn't have any gray on me. But you know, I'll touch up some light gray on the bone or the rock, and it is ready to go.
Nice. And I like the fact that he has that wraps around his eyes, and it's like, why, what? It's so good. Yeah, I want to fight him. Don't use them on large areas. Yeah, we actually learned that. I'm going to bring this out.
Sure. Yeah, that was one of the first things Games Workshop pointed out was, you know, don't try to paint like a tank or a rhino with it, because you're going to see a very streaky style look on things. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, don't do that. So, but
Yeah.
again, we did it on this to test it. To be like, all right, so absolutely.
Yeah, that you're better off with sprays, airbrush, nice smooth coats, you know, versus the brush strokes and things you'll see with that.
Right.
But again, texture, cloth, fur, it's going to give you a fantastic result.
So good. All right, everybody. I think what we're going to do now is, one last time, Fee-Fi-Fo-Fum, hashtag Fee-Fi-Fo-Fum to win this amazing Storm Giant Royal Guard, limited to 1,500 by Gale Force 9, part of the, I think it's part of like the Storm King's Thunder.
They brought out with Storm King's Thunder with a Frost Giant and a Fire Giant and some other stuff.
All the great giants, which are so good. And we will be back on Thursday painting some more Gale Force 9. It'll be Gretchen and I.
Nice.
And we'll have a good time then. See a couple other miniatures and maybe have another one to give away.
Fantastic.
So, Jeff, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I always love being here and chatting with you guys. Good times.
Then soon we'll be running a D&D game that you all can listen to and then also watch.
Yes. Keep eyes out for.
Yes.
Have you revealed the name
Of what?
of the show?
Oh, it's Epic Quest.
Quests. Yeah, I didn't want to give away something I shouldn't. Yeah,
No,
Epic Quests. Yes.
it's a rebirth of an old program.
Right.
But it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be a blast. And we're not just going to be stuck in D&D. We're going to be looking at other RPGs as well.
Lots of cool stuff.
Yeah.
On the horizon.
Yeah. So, on that note, I'm Rick.
And I'm Jeff.
And we'll see you at the game store.
Have a good day.
Thanks for watching Painting Happy Little Minis. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment below, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new content.